This Shabbos is the first Shabbos of the 3 weeks, the 3 week period that goes from Shiva Asar B'Tammuz until Tisha B'Av. This is the saddest period on the Jewish calendar, and it really focuses on the destruction, the Churban of the Beis Hamikdash, the Churban, the destruction of our holy temples. Now we're told that the reason for the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, the second Beis Hamikdash, was Sinas Chinam, the fact that there was baseless hatred, a tremendous amount of hatred among the Jewish people. And so during this period of time, in order to correct that terrible mistake, certainly in our generation as well, we need to show an exceptional amount of ahava, an exceptional amount of love for our fellow Jews. Even if at times it may be difficult for us to do so, we have to go out of our way to show ahava, to show love, and truly mean it during this period of time. But there's more. There's introspection on the global level and on the individual level. The Gemara tells us that any generation in which the Beis Hamikdash is not rebuilt, it's as if that generation has some responsibility for its destruction. So while the second Beis Hamikdash may have been destroyed because of Sinas Chinam, but there is another Beis Hamikdash. And what are the things that we need to focus on in order to be misakein, in order to correct the mistakes that led to the destruction of that first Beis Hamikdash? So Chazal instruct us that over this 3 week period of time on Shabbos, after we read the Parsha, we read the Haftorah, of course, as we do every Shabbos, but these Haftorahs are special. They're known as the Gimel de Puranusa, the 3 Haftorahs that speak of tragedy. It was actually the vision of 2 prophets, the prophet Yirmiyahu and the prophet Yeshayahu, of what would befall, what would happen to Klal Yisrael, to the Jewish people, if they didn't follow the Torah, if they didn't follow Hashem and keep His mitzvos and observe His commandments. And Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen of Lublin, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, explains that the key to what we are to focus on over the course of the next 3 weeks lies in the first word of each of these Haftorahs. Beginning with this Shabbos, the Haftorah begins with the word Divrei, and then it says Yirmiyahu. The words of Yirmiyahu. Next Shabbos, in Matos Maseh, the Haftorah begins with the word Shim'u, Devar Hashem. Listen to the word of Hashem. And finally, on Shabbos Chazon, the Shabbos before Tisha B'Av, the Haftorah begins with the word Chazon, to see. It was the vision of Yeshayahu. So Rabbi Tzadok explains that each Shabbos gives us the opportunity to focus on another area in which we need to work on, to correct, in order to ensure that in our generation, Hashem would want to bring and rebuild the Beis Hamikdash. And the first on this Shabbos is Dibur, Divrei Yirmiyahu. Dibur, speech. How is it that we speak? What is it that we say? Who is it that we speak about? And perhaps we've made mistakes in this area throughout the year, throughout our lives. This Shabbos and these weeks are an opportunity to correct that which comes out of our mouths, and for us to be more cautious and careful about what comes out of our mouths. Next Shabbos, Shim'u. What is it that we hear? What is it that we listen to? When we hear other people being spoken about, when we hear people speak negatively about religion, about Hashem, do we stand and listen? Do we give them credence, or do we walk away? To focus on that which we hear. And then finally, on Shabbos Chazon, the focus is on our Chazon, on our vision, on what it is that we see, what it is that we look at. What it is that we look at for enjoyment, what it is that we allow ourselves to look at, whether it's something which is inappropriate, or if we look at things that we shouldn't be looking at from virtue of the fact that things that don't belong to us, and we're jealous of those things. So these are 3 areas, 3 senses of our body that we need to focus on, and by doing so, we will be able to try our very best in making sure that these 3 weeks are so productive that it'll bring us closer to having the opportunity to see the Beis Hamikdash rebuilt, and that Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, as we're told by Chazal, that the 9th of Av will become a holiday, will become a Yom Tov for Klal Yisrael. In the words of Yirmiyahu, Kara Alai Moed, that one day the 9th of Av will become a Moed, will become a Yom Tov. If we're cognizant of these 3 areas, then we'll be doing our part in ensuring that our generation in Meretz Hashem will be able to see the Beis Hamikdash rebuilt, and that we will experience the Yom Tov of the 9th of Av. Thank you for listening, and have a good Shabbos.